Traditions and customs are national treasure. Kazakh people observe traditions over many centuries. The Great Steppe is an amulet of the country. You can watch the customs and traditions of the Kazakhs in the modern Nomads program. Today we're going to talk about the Nauryz holiday. Nauryz is common to all Eurasian cultures and can't be called an exclusively Turkic holiday, as well as a religious holiday. Nauryz marks the beginning of the new year according to the Turkic season, counting traditions, and serves an important utilitarian purpose for the tribes that celebrate it. Due to certain political events, a span of almost 100 years of the Kazakh history was omitted, and as a result, the celebration of Nauryz was only reintroduced in 1988. The famous Kazakh writer and poet Abay Kunanbayev used to describe the holiday in the following words. Usually celebrated in the early spring in observance of the equinox, people make Nauryz nama, a liquid dish of several kinds of crops. The day has a specific name of the greatest day of the year. From the writer's description, we can clearly see the cultural accent of the holiday disconnected from the religious beliefs.
Nauryz meyramı жалпы Орта Азия халықтарына, мына жағындағы тұран жұртына, мына жағындағы ирандықтарға әрі қарата келсеңіз.
Nauryz is observed by the groups of people that live as far as on the Balkan Peninsula and the Caucasus Mountains, and everybody in between, dwellers of the Turan Plateau, Iranians and Middle Easterners. In the Kazakh culture, Nauryz is the manifestation of the new day, the greatest day to live yet. However, the name Nauryz is familiar and dear to all the Turkic nations. The word originated from the merger of the two Farsi words that meant new day. This is beyond any doubt. On this auspicious day, the night is equal to the day, and this astrological fact alone makes this holiday one of a kind. Besides providing vital information about the time, the sky, and the nature to the people of the past, this holiday carries a deeper ethnographic meaning into the future.
Мәні бар нәрсе. Сонымен бірге тұрмыстық, салттықта үлкен сипаты бар. Сонымен бірге танымдық үлкен маңызы бар нәрсе. Педагогикалық тұрғыдан да қарастыруға болады. Этнографиялық тұрғыдан да қарастыруға болады деген көзқараста біз Наурызды талдап айтуға болады.
The status of the holiday as the harbinger of renewal is deeply based in the natural cycles. Starting this day, March 22nd, the day becomes longer than the night and allows for the earth, plants, animals, and people to awaken and evolve. Green grass stems pick through the surface of the earth, trees bud up, snow gradually retreats and lets in the black soil, changing the scenery. Everything seems to have taken a new breath after a long winter, and the blood comes rushing through its every vein. Celebrating the return of life is mandatory in this case. One of the oldest folk pieces of the Kazakh culture contain references to this holiday. Exclamations like Nauryz Alash prove the importance of the holiday time and again.
Қазіргі мәлімет бойынша, осы жаңағы мен айтқан аумақта тұратын 300 миллиондай халық осы Nauryz мерекесін тойлайды екен.
According to the latest data, more than 300 million people celebrate Nauryz. The majority of those are the former Nomads, among them the Kazakhs. Despite the universal history of this day, every culture seems to have given it their own specific meaning, their own customs and interpretations based on their worldview, values, language, and relationships. Each ethnos celebrates its own way. In Kazakh understanding, on this day, the night is equal to the day. Different versions for the names of the attributes of the holiday emerged across the vast territory. Different aspirations were connected to the symbolic Kudir Ata, Kuzir Baba, who was thought to bring blessings, virtues, abundance, and happiness. After being locked and strangled by the winter colds, people needed a symbol of resurrection. Where should they look for one? The new day is to bring one with it. The dazzling sunrise promises a good day. That's where the expression to meet the new day came from.
Адам баласы қыстай қымтырылып шыққан адам жаңағыдай тұрмыс кешкен халық етміз сол жақсылықты ізгілікті күтеді. Қайдан күтеді? Жаңа күннен күтеді. Жарқырап шыққан жаңа таңнан күтеді. Міне соған байланысты ең алғашқы жаңа күнді қарсы алу дейтін рәсім болған екен бұл.
Back in the day, the nomads looked forward to celebrating Nauryz more than any other holiday. They looked forward to grasping the air of spring, feeling the warm gust of wind and touching the silky new grass. How not to beam with joy and sense of something better coming your way when the sun shines brighter? Why not celebrate for 1 month instead of only 1 day? Every single day for a month, women prepared the Nauryz koje, boiled meat, and shared the food with their neighboring villages, while the elders blessed the rest of the community with akmol bosin. Let the dairy be in abundance. Happy Nauryz. Let's live and prosper. Ulis on bolsin.
Таңның таңғы шапағымен бірге барлық ауыл аймақтың адамдары жақсы киініп, жуынып, таранып, тәндерінде тазалап, жандарында, рухында тазалап, таңның шапағымен бірге рауанда батып келе жатқан таңға сәлем береді.
When the first signs of the sun, people got dressed up and prepared to salute the sun and the new day. As a part of the salutation ritual, the mothers of the house spattered milk on the ground. Spiritually charged holiday and its symbol, the sun, seems to carry almost a totemic meaning in the celebration of the new day, and milk being the offering to the mighty divinity. The Chuvashes call this holiday Nauryz Oyaki.
Күнді күнге табыну, күнді бір тұту деген мысалы. Жаңағы Nauryz мысалы, жаңағы аталғанда да. Мысалы, мынау шубаштарда Nauryz Oyaka деп тойлайды.
The Armenians and Tajiks considered it to be the holidays of the tulips. Even the seemingly unrelated Japanese celebrate the incoming of spring and call it the Sakura Festival. These similarities are not accidental. The urge to change, renew on both physical, mental, and emotional levels is natural for human beings, and obviously the milestone that celebrated this was welcome everywhere on the Eurasian continent. The hope for the better, brighter future, peaceful life, growth, and changes is behind the holiday.
Жаңа болашақта үлкен жақсылықпен күткен. Яғни оның ар жағында жалпы дүниенің жаңаруы, табиғаттың жаңаруы, адамның жаңаруы, адамның жан дүниесінің жаңаруы дейтін үлкен түсінік жатыр.
Before the dawn of the 18th century, an equivalent of Nauryz was celebrated in ancient Greece and even Great Britain. There is evidence that shows that Nauryz was celebrated in the ancient Rus till 1700. The records of the celebration of Nauryz were found in various ancient scriptures and sources that date back to the Middle centuries. A very interesting custom held in observance in Nauryz takes place in the west of Kazakhstan. Korisu is organized by the community who just said goodbye to winter and decides to do a head count to see who made it out of the clutches of winter. People meet, exchange both good and bad news, share their plans and joys, show appreciation for the opportunity to meet each other. All of this happening at a vast dastarkhan served with meat, for each have to have her share. Skipping korisu is considered bad manners. On this day, even those who are in quarrels forgive each other and start anew, and missing this chance is detrimental to the person himself.
Бізден гөрі отырықшы болған түріктес ағайындар, олар жаңа жылда, яғни жыл басында ағаш отырғызады, бұлақтың көзін ашады.
Unlike us, our settler brother nationalities celebrate this holiday by planting trees and cleaning the springs. According to Abu Rayhan al-Birunids Khoresam, the ancient Chorasmians and Zogdians went as far as painting the images of the sun on the walls of the houses and gates. For a group that traveled from place to place, doing anything like this wasn't feasible. Sun salutation was what we did. Gradually, this ritual became a different, inextricable part of our culture where we celebrate our elderlies. You probably know about the Korisu tradition held in the west of the country. On the 14th day of March, we go out and visit our elderlies. By just acknowledging their presence, we convey respect and receive blessings. This, I think, is a very good tradition inherent to our culture.
Көрсететін жақсы салт бар, оны білесіздер. Наурыздың 14 күні. Енді осындай бір жақсы бір дүниені біздің қазақтың өзінде қалыптасқан нәрсе. Үлкенге құрмет сыйлау. Батасын алу дейтін екінші әңгіме бар. Сол сәлем бере барып, үлкеннің, қарияның, ақсақал адамның батасын алу. Бұл да біздің өзіміздің қазаққа тән қасиет.
The delicacy of this holiday is Nauryz koje. The traditional recipe states that koje must have the grains of wheat, millet, lamb, peas, milk, salt, and water. As long as 7 different ingredients are included in the final product, the ingredients can be substituted with others. The remnants from sogim, meat provisioned for the winter, are cooked and served as well. Nauryz koje has many names. Some call it wish koje or endless koje. Tasting koje is a must for both adults and youngsters. According to the old belief, only one adds a year to their age after having koje made for everybody. There is a story about Nauryz koje that requires our attention. A grandmother named Nauryz had 7 children, each had 12 children. The number 12 seems to be connected to the number of months a year. One day, the 7 children disappeared, and when they were found, Nauryz granny made koje that had 7 ingredients, each for each child that came back, and treated everybody she found with it. Our neighboring Uzbek and Tajik brothers have a similar dish called sumalyak. 7 in general is considered to be a sacred number. The 7 stars of the Ursa Majora, 7 days of the week, and many other instances of the number 7 in our lives. One of the 7 ingredients added to koje is meat. Meat is paramount in the nomad culture. Sheep's head and horse's vertebrae are the most revered pieces of meat and were air-dried and kept throughout the winter to be added to the celebratory koje. By the time Nauryz is celebrated, the amount of sogim has decreased. The animals are skinny and the fresh grass hasn't grown enough to spur growth, so holding a piece or 2 of the jerky meat is important. What is in abundance is dairy. The dairy products rule the celebratory dastarhan and call for more milk, litter, and grass in the future.
Уақытта ақ жаңа шығып жатқан кезде ақ тағаммен жаңағыдай дастархан жаю, ақтан дәм татқызу, көңілің ағарсын дейтін ар жағындағы үлкен тілек.
While the fact of the celebration of Nauryz is universal on the Eurasian continent, the way each group celebrates it is different. For example, the Kazakh Jibeks organize push-pull horse race games where they can show off their cherished stallions. Baygye, aksirkiya, kokpar, and other games require high performances from both the animal and the jockey. Both adults and young boys and horses get to stretch their bodies after a long winter at last. Closer to the evening, alti bakan, massive swing, are put together on the outskirts of the village. That's the time and place for the young people of the village to come together, socialize, sing, and play games. From the sounds of music and singing, the villagers feel with the true spirit of the holiday. Under the full moon, the young men and women play aksuyek. Some find future spouses at these games. The celebration of Nauryz shows us a lot about the lifestyle of the nomads from back then, and the existence of such a holiday till now becomes clear to the modern audience.
Қазақтың ұлттық ойындарының көбі әрине ол шындығын айтқан.
The majority of the Kazakh national games were played during Nauryz, and that's how they traveled into other celebrations, really. The holiday wasn't about leisurely waddling around the village and consuming food. The epitome of the celebrations took place at the horse races, Baygye to be exact. This game has come to us from our Turkic Mongolian ancestors. Mongolians broadly separated male games into 3 categories. First, horse races. Second, wrestling games. And third, archery games. I believe they stick to this division till now. Unsurprisingly, we stick to the first category. Among them, the most favorite races are Baygye and Kokpar. Toy Jaris, Kunan Donen, Bestia, Alaman are the stages of this great race. Kokpar has unclear origins. Each person insists on their own version. Some say that the name came from the expression Kokbori Tarkan, the one who pulled the goat. While we can't say this for sure, the game requires serious physical aptitude from the player. Picking up a whole goat from the ground or taking it away from your opponents was only possible if you had strong hands, torso, and legs, while staying nimble enough to wiggle out of the opponent's hands. The next social game, which has a rather lyrical context, is called Alti Bakan. After the races and wrestling are over, When the winners are announced, it is time to find yourself a female partner, or rather express your feelings you had for the longest time through a song or a poem in the moonlight. The night is a time for the young to share their secrets. Once done with that, pairs go out in the high grass in the bright light of the moon and play aksuyek. As we can see, that games are heavily based on the nomadic lifestyle, its demands and restrictions. Other Farsi-speaking groups observed this holiday for several days. They made big bonfires and spattered oils and essences into the fire. Based on the quality of the first 7 grains of wheat, they predicted the quality of the whole year ahead. They served the traditional koje, sumalik, in 7 bowls, threw away old clothes, broken and chipped dishes, drew circles, the symbol of the sun, on the walls. Young women gave each other flowers. Men competed at archery. On this day, the young and old apologized and strove to forgive those who wronged them. Snow on Nauryz is forecasted to bring good news in the Kazakh culture. In some myths, the beauty of a woman's face was compared to the Nauryz snow.
Қазақтың өзі ұғымында, түсінігінде, фольклорлық түсінігінде 30 күн ойын, 40 күн тойын дейтін бар.
There exists a saying 30 days of games, 40 days of peace in the Kazakh folklore. Some, for some reason, attribute it to the wedding dishes, but it is not so. The number 30 came into common use during Nauryz when the celebrations lasted 30 days. People didn't gather for 30 days and played kokpar non-stop. No. Each household hosted the celebration in their homes for one day, and then the celebration baton moved to another household. If today I set up Dastarkhan, tomorrow you will, and the day after somebody else will. The main point is to invite and show respect to the elderly, whose blessings protect your house and stories entertain or educate your family. Nauryz was just another occasion to exercise all these family values and show your youngsters how it is done.
Негізгі заңдылық үйлердің барлығы осы Наурызда қайталанады. Сол уақытта тәпіштеледі.
There are multiple terms related to Nauryz. Some of them denote the time period, Nauryz Day, the month of Nauryz, Nauryz Nama. Multiple other expressions containing Nauryz are Nauryz Koje, Nauryz Toy, Nauryz Song, Nauryz Puzzle, Nauryz Blessing, Nauryz Wish, Nauryz Offspring, Nauryz Grass, Nauryz Name, Nauryz Flower in the Nauryz fashion. It is not hard to see that Nauryz did play a very important role in our lives.
Қайткен күнде мысалы Наурыз көженің барлық адам дәм тату керек одан. Бұл жерде де бір әлеуметтік үлкен жаңағы тепе-теңдік бар.
No matter what happens, everybody has to try the Nauryz Koje. This one simple dish equates everybody. The rich, the poor, a humbled shepherd, and the owner of the herd, the old and the young must taste the dish. It is believed that you skip on the chance to receive heavenly fortune by refusing to eat from the Nauryz Dastarkhan. Needless to say that Nauryz Koje has a very important place in our culture. Among the tradition to make bishbarmak and distribute the leftovers of the Dastarkhan to those who are missing for some reason, sibaga. Blessings given on Nauryz seem to be more potent than others and are taken seriously. Among other things, the elderlies point out that we should respect ourselves, each other, Mother Earth, and Mother Nature, to live in peace and abundance, and be thankful for what we have, share and help those in need, pass on the traditions, and raise decent people.
Керек болса адам өзін-өзі қадірлеуге, сүюге, ата, баба, салт дәстүрін қадірлеуге, соны қастерлеуге үндейтін баталар.
The holiday of Nauryz received the status of a national holiday by the President of the Kazakh SSR on March 15, 1991. The day of March 22nd received the name of Nauryz Mirami. In 2009, the 21st, the 22nd, and the 23rd of March were called Nauryz Mirami by the President of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Nursultan Nazarbayev. Ulis on Bolson, Nauryz kutlu bolsun.